Myanmar's 10-year journey to democracy appears to be over.
The military takeover has sparked the biggest demonstrations seen in Myanmar in more than a decade.
A stark warning from the UN Special Envoy on Myanmar, quote, "A bloodbath is imminent."
Security forces shot more than 100 people dead.
Peaceful demonstrations were responded to with massive violence by the military.
Before we get into my Myanmar vlog, I wanted to flag up front and give a little bit of background about the situation that is going on there. So Myanmar has been in a civil war since 2021. There was a military coup after a brief stint of democracy in the country. The civil war is between the military and ethnic groups and pro-democracy groups. There is fighting going on in areas across the whole country. What the military is doing is atrocious. They're committing war crimes, bombing schools, bombing hospitals, bombing villages, burning villages to the ground. And then there is also the mass genocide going on with the Rohingya people. I could not talk about it whilst I was there for safety reasons. And traveling to Myanmar comes with a unique set of rules and guidelines to follow. You cannot talk openly about the situation. And please, if you are visiting and you're a tourist or a content creator, please make sure that if a local is trusting you and opening up to you, that you keep their identity safe. If you are going to talk about their stories, do not film people that are opening up to you. Don't take photos, because you will be fine when you get back to your home country, but the consequences that they will face are horrific. So it is your responsibility to keep the people that trust you safe. That is the biggest priority. I do still really recommend Myanmar to visit if you're a medium or a high experienced traveler. It is not a location as your first trip overseas or even your second, third, fourth, fifth trip overseas. If you're a medium experienced traveler, I recommend going with a full-time guide, so you have a guide the whole time. If you're a high experienced traveler, it's easy to navigate by yourself. The locals will really look out for you. I was there as a solo female. I never felt unsafe. Everyone really looked out for me, and I didn't have a guide. So I did the whole thing independently, unguided. It is not a trip where you will leave feeling happy and you're not drinking cocktails on a beach. You will hear some horrific stories. You will leave feeling very helpless and emotionally exhausted. But with that, they do really appreciate tourism there, and your tourist dollars are very helpful. Just make sure that your tourist dollars are going towards local businesses, family-run businesses, and businesses that are not linked to the military. There are a few hotels that are directly linked to the military, so please do keep that in mind. I would also advise to bring a lot more cash than you expect, because you will meet a lot of people that you will want to help. To be completely transparent, I have actually been having nightmares every night since leaving about the situation, and it's a really shitty feeling knowing that I've left and I'm safe, but I've left some really amazing people and I don't know what their future holds. So I hope this vlog gives a little bit of an insight into Myanmar and some of the amazing people that live there. I apologize for sometimes during this probably not showing the emotions and how upset I was. That was because I was too scared to really talk about anything openly and to be outright upset. So that is probably why you don't really see the raw emotions from me. I had to keep that all to myself. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the vlog. To Myanmar. I am traveling solo and it is my first time to Myanmar, so let's go. Okay, so I have landed in Yangon. I just exchanged a little bit of cash, only 1,000 baht, just to get me enough to get a taxi into the city, and then I'll try and find a more reliable money exchanger. And now I'm waiting to try and get a local SIM card. I am at a Tom.
and the visa was super simple. I already obviously had my visa because Australians can no longer get visas on arrival here. So showed them my visa, got the stamp, and here we are. Okay, so Grab works here. So I've ordered a Grab and now I'm waiting for my taxi. He should be here soon. This is the airport. Now, I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about this trip. I got a little bit nervous last night and flying here this morning. I think a lot of people just got into my head about how dangerous it is, the kidnappings, so I think it just freaked me out a little bit, particularly given usually I'm okay, but it's because I'm solo, and a solo female always comes with a different set of challenges than if you're a solo male. So I'm just a little bit still wary, but I'm feeling much more comfortable. Even like going through the airport and stuff, I'm feeling much more like I've got this, and that it's fine too, by the way. Myanmar was historically closed off from the rest of the world. It opened up slowly in 2011, and that's when some tourists started to trickle through. They did have a big tourism boom between 2015 to 2019, but then they are now in a civil war. There's civil conflicts all across the country. The tourist cities are meant to be pretty safe, and there are a lot of military checkpoints, so you actually can't get anywhere where there is a significant amount of danger. But with that, it obviously means that there are a different set of challenges. So you can't get cash out at ATMs. Everything's traded on the black market in terms of cash, so you have to bring all your cash with you. There are frequent blackouts, there's minimal internet, and obviously you need a VPN for everything. The VPNs seem pretty common here though, like they recommended a VPN to me when I was getting my SIM card. So I think everyone just uses VPN. Similar to Turkmenistan, where like Instagram's banned, but they openly advertise like their Instagram handles and stuff for cafes, which is odd to me. Oh my god, look. Welcome to Yangon. Woohoo! Okay, checked in. I got myself a nice room. This was $100 a night. So they built a lot of really nice hotels when tourism was pumping. Now it's mostly just used for people that travel on business here. There is still a lot of business tourists. Well, I say a lot, but you know, this is my room. Nice, hey. All for myself, a big bed. Okay, so I am at a currency exchange and they are very particular with their notes, more so with USD. So I got out Thai baht, but they've rejected this because it's got a little cut there. That's fine, I can keep that on me. And then I got recommended this particular currency exchange from my hotel. It's always good to ask. He gave me strict instructions. He said, keep walking, people will probably try and offer you currency exchange. It's a scam, ignore them, don't talk to anyone, go get your cash. It's interesting because now that I'm here, I'm much more comfortable and I just feel like I'm in another Southeast Asian city. I also keep getting distracted with all the gemstones because I'm in an area, like a market, where there's just rows and rows of gemstones, rubies, sapphires. If you know anything about Myanmar, if you know anything about gemstones, it is very famous for the Burmese ruby. There are two mines in Burma, or Myanmar, sorry. You can use it interchangeably, but there's actually historical reason as to why people prefer to use one over the other. But there are two mines. They're in very dangerous areas, so no one can go to the mines. They're in areas where there's active fighting. So, oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, I am trying Mahinga. It's pronounced Mahinga, yeah? Mahinga. It's the national dish of Myanmar. Most people eat it for breakfast. It's kind of like, the best way to describe it is, it's like pho in Vietnam or laksa in Malaysia. And then I got fritters. I think these are these are chickpea fritters. And I think I add my fritters to the soup. I don't know. Okay. It's a fish soup. Okay. It's definitely fish soup. It's good. Fishy, but good. Okay, I found a little bakery and I'm getting a fresh orange juice, but look at all of this. That's actually double what I just paid for my soup. So I've been walking along downtown, and the place I had lunch was really nice, but it was like a restaurant, and you guys know I love street food. So I found a place and there were heaps of people sitting in front of it. No one speaks English obviously, but I've gone around and looked and I pointed. He's making everything from scratch. I'll show you. It's like, I don't know what it is, but there's noodles there. There's noodles, and then there's soup here. Soup there. And then you just add toppings, I guess? I don't know. But you know shit's good when you've got these stools. Okay, here's my soup. Delicious. This is where I'm sitting. My soup noodle dish then was 35 Australian cents, which is pretty crazy. Okay, so I am at a local craft shop. These are all handmade by disadvantaged groups in Yangon. There's a massive variety. Pillowcases, coasters, glassware. Look at it. They're like the women here. Look how cute that is. These little figurines are all hand painted by a local women's group here. Sick. Okay, so it's called Hilla Days, and it's a business that works together with local artists, disadvantaged groups, and small local businesses. This experienced the most Myanmar thing you could experience. I was walking out of my hotel and there was a cafe next door, and these two ladies were sitting there at the cafe with a table covered in rubies, and they are ruby handlers. So she gets them directly from one of the mines, and the whole place was just covered in rubies. And if you don't know much about rubies, Myanmar, sorry, I keep fucking it up. Also so embarrassing, I've been saying it wrong, which I knew, I had a feeling I was saying it wrong, but I wanted to wait until I'm here. Sorry, someone's begging. It's really hard. There are a lot of beggars in Myanmar, which makes sense given the current climate and what's going on. Anyway, so some of the Burmese rubies are the best rubies in the world, so it isn't uncommon here to see a shitload of rubies. Okay, so these are all volunteers.
Today is Wednesday, so this is Wednesday volunteer thing, the sweeping floor.
Yep. Okay, so I'm at the main pagoda in Yangon. I can't say it, I'm going to butcher it and then I'm going to get embarrassed. But look how amazing it is. I got here around 5 p.m, 4:35 p.m. I hired just a guide at the front door, and it really comes alive at around like 6 p.m. at sunset. That's when everyone starts praying and everyone lights their candles. It is such an incredible place. I've just, to be honest, been sitting somewhere for 30 minutes and just observing everyone because it's just so cool. Okay, so we've got more food for dinner. A fish. How do I pronounce what type of food this is? From Kachin. They're laughing at me. So this is a farm soup. My friend said it's the type of soup that you find in the village. It is delicious. Okay, and then this is sapay, which is the main dish we're having. It's a cold soup. There's an ice cube in it.
So you take that and then you put this and then just mix. Kalau dah ada sudah ni macam
Good morning. I'm starting the day with a iced coffee. I think this will be the only one I find on this trip. It is from Pacific Marketplace. It's just underneath my hotel. It is $4 USD though, $4.50 USD. So you're definitely paying tourist prices here, but this is it. I am walking through one of the local women's clothing markets. It's 9:30. I am trying to get out and about mornings and late afternoons because lunchtime it is so disgustingly hot. It's insanely hot and it's only March. Okay, so I was walking along and obviously my eyes and head are always thinking about food, so I spotted something and heaps of people were sitting around. So I think I'm getting noodles. Looks good. Okay, so this is my breakfast. There are my noodles in there. Okay, so I'm at the Strand Hotel. They're famous for doing their high tea. It recently reopened. I'm not getting the high tea. The high tea, although is still very cheap for a high tea rate, I think it's like 40 USD or 30 USD. I'm just getting a simple apple tart and an iced mocha. They have a combo deal. Now the Strand Hotel is super famous. It opened in 1901 and then it's gone through a lot of things in its lifetime. During World War II, following the occupation of the Japanese, it actually was the quarter for Japanese troops. And then it has gone different owners. At one point, the same owners that owned Raffles in Singapore also owned here. Anyway, it's got a lot of history and it's very beautiful. I didn't choose to stay here. I chose Pan Pacific just because, I don't know, I like the vibe of Pan Pacific. Bye. Okay, I'm at Rangoon Tea House. It was recommended to me by a lot of people on like Facebook groups, forums, and a local person that DM'd me actually. And this is my meal. It's definitely not street food. It's definitely more upmarket, but look at this. Oh, it's delicious. And I had a beautiful glass of cold coconut water. Geez, that meal, to be fair, not to be fair, well, I had dessert also. It was 50 Australian dollars, which is really, really expensive for Myanmar. Very like foreigner place, a lot of expats. So I just went back to the pagoda. I love it there. I find it really calming and peaceful, and it's a photographer's dream. So of course I was going to go a second time, and a monk called me over. He said, sit, sit, sit. And he asked if he could practice his English. He was so cool. And he asked, what should I pray for you for? And I said, babies. And he goes, oh, okay. For you and your husband? I go, no, there's no husband. Actually, can you add that to the praying list? He goes, oh, okay, so like for you, if you want your boyfriend to become your husband. I go, well, no, there is no boyfriend. So first we have to get a boyfriend, then a husband, then babies. So can you just pray for all of that all in one? And the poor guy was so confused. He was like, Anyway, so last night I met a friend. I had posted on a Myanmar Facebook travel page, basically being like, hey, does anyone want to catch up? I'm in Yangon for the next few days. And a few people commented. Anyway, one girl I met up with last night, I met her and her family, and they were so sweet. And we were able to talk a lot more candidly about the situation here. A beautiful friend, she grew up in a local village, and a lot of the villages have been like completely decimated. Her village has been bombed multiple times. They've been attacked by the military. They just come in with guns and shoot everything and everyone. They've had to flee so many times that eventually they just couldn't return anymore. And you have to be really careful because a lot of the young men or boys just get grabbed off the street or from their homes and are forced to join the military. But my beautiful friend, she had 2 cousins with her, and I said, how are they? How have they been impacted by this? Obviously they've been heavily impacted. And she said even in Yangon, which is considered a safe city, if they hear any sort of plane or anything, they start running and they freak out because they associate planes or anything in the sky with bombs. So it's a pretty fucked situation. We also had a super candid conversation about tourism. I think traveling here comes with ethical concerns, right? Obviously your visa and taxes that you're paying here through food and everything go directly to the military. The military is who's fighting all the locals, really. But the flip side of that is a lot of the funding received from the military right now is coming from China. There aren't many tourists here, so it's really a drop in the ocean. Nonetheless, your tourist dollars are feeding into the military, which is horrific. There's 2 benefits that come with tourism, though, in my opinion. The first is what I mentioned before. I think it can be really detrimental if you shut a country off completely and no information is getting out. So I do think tourism helps keep that connection and keeps bridging the rest of the world to said country. And the other is obviously helping the local people through your tourist dollars. Things are pretty dire here. There's a lot more begging than I've seen in other Southeast Asian countries. But I just want to flag that because travel isn't always peaches and roses. It comes with a lot of sometimes negative side effects. So you have to make that decision. Do you personally think the benefits outweigh that negative? So I just organised my bus ticket tonight. I'm taking the overnight bus from Yangon to Bagan, and it is roughly 10 hours overnight, but it can take apparently 16 hours because of the military checkpoints. I asked my hotel concierge, they're amazing, they did it all for me, and I just paid them, and then they paid through their phone, and then they were also organising me a taxi to go to the bus station. The bus station is an hour and a half away from downtown Yangon, so it's really far away. And then I have actually booked a hostel tomorrow. I know, I'm way too old for hostels, but it's a private room. It was actually recommended to me from my guide that I'm trekking with in a few days. He was like, everyone stays there, it's a good vibe, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, perfect, done. I had a little bit of a rough night last night. What happened was I went to meet up with this girl. Her boyfriend and his mate were there. There were 2 British guys working at an international school. She was local. I'm super inquisitive, right? Always have been, ask a lot of questions. Anyway, the boyfriend was so rude and kind of like, he made me feel so uncomfortable. He was like, where's the bug on you? I'm like, what? I didn't understand him. He goes, the bug, because clearly you're a journalist. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm just asking questions, and no offense, mate. Like, you guys invited me here. If I was a journalist, I would have tried to seek you out. I was like, I'm just like asking questions, and no offense, it's not like you're asking me any questions, so I want to sit here in silence. He was so rude, and he was like, get up and leave right now. And I turned to the girl and I said, can you please walk me to a taxi? It's night and I don't feel comfortable. And she just was like, telling him he was being crazy, but like didn't really help me. Anyway, so it was a really shit experience. I went the wrong way in my yapping. And then I cried after. I think sometimes when you're traveling alone and someone like tells you to leave and like are being really, I don't know, rude, semi-aggressive towards you, you feel super isolated and just like a bit disheveled. So yeah, a classic. It was a foreigner that gave me a bad experience, not a local. But I'm trying to reframe. I'm excited to leave Yangon, I think, just because of that experience, and get up into more of the quiet areas without all the fucking angry expats. And I do understand, because like you have to be careful what you say, right? Likewise for me, I also have to be careful what I say. So I was never gonna can put the two of us in bad situations. Not like it's just beneficial for me to find all this stuff out and then like talk about it. You can't. So yeah. I still didn't find this place, but here is a cafe. It was recommended to me from a local that messaged me on TikTok, actually. So it is my last day in Yangon, so I'm obviously shopping for Burmese rubies and sapphires. They have some of the best rubies in the world. They're very famous for it. So I am here with my friend and let's look. So we've got the sapphires here. These are all sapphires, rubies. And then we've just been weighing all the stuff I am getting. I'm getting these, they are spinel. And I'll get that made into earrings. Okay, we're at Mogok Noodle House. This is delicious. Oh, and my veggies have arrived. Thank you. Okay, this is where I had lunch. My lunch was $5 for my 2 dishes. It was amazing. Bye. So I'm about to take the overnight bus from Yangon to Bagan. It is meant to only be 8 hours, but apparently with all the military checkpoints, it can take up to 16 hours. So fingers crossed it is only 8. And I was advised not to talk to anyone when I get to the bus station, but typical me, I end up talking and yapping away. Plus, my guard always drops because everyone's just so nice. So I'm like, but I was also advised to take off most of my jewelry. And then I thought I should try and eat something before the long journey. So I got myself 2-minute noodles because that was kind of the only thing I could see to point to because no one else was really eating. Okay, I found myself more food, some sort of fried rice dish. This is the bus station. Hi! Okay, we are 5 hours in. It's 11:30 p.m. We just had a 30-minute break. They woke me up and they were like, 30-minute break, and I was like, where am I? Anyway, it's quite comfortable. This is my reclining seat. It was 28 USD, and they give you blankets. So pretty good. Not as good as the Vietnam VIP buses. But this one's pretty good. It's comfortable and safe. Okay, good morning. We are in Bagan. It was an 8-hour overnight bus. Well, actually, it ended up being 10, but that's not bad. I literally slept like a little baby because the roads were quite bumpy. So I got rocked to sleep, and I only noticed 2 military checkpoints, and then I was still asleep for the rest. So yeah, arrived, and then I'm gonna go check into my hostel. I can't believe I'm staying in a hostel. I'm too old for it, but I think it will be better because it'll be a bit more social and stuff, and I won't be such a loner all the time. Thank you. Okay, let's go get my bag. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so we've had a bit of a false start. I went to check into the hostel and the generator is down. So electricity is very sporadic here. It will cut off and no one knows when it's coming back on and whatnot. So everyone relies on generators. So you kind of need a generator. So I'm off to find another hotel that has a generator. We are at the food market in Bagan. There's like rows and rows of bananas. No
this
temple.
is not allowed. That's why you want to climb up there, this mountain. You want to see amazing sunrise.
Okay, let's have a look.
Me.
I was
not 100% beautiful, just 80%. We got not more than higher.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
80% beautiful.
Yeah.
I was riding on the road, and my new friend drove past me. I said, "Where are you going?" I go, "Just seeing the sights, I guess." He goes, "I'll show you somewhere." And he took me down 50 gazillion little back streets on sand, and we all know post-accident,
Slowly.
my confidence is very low riding on sand
Look
now.
at this, with the scenery, our Bagan home beautifully.
Sick!
Now you are riding Bagan.
This is so cool! Beautiful!
The sunrise from the here, the volume, they find it with.
Ending up on these random little tours. I think because I'm alone, so people just start talking to me, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm going here, you want to come?" I was like, "Okay, fine." I just had lunch at this really cool spot actually in this village. I only went to it because I saw like these cars driving in, and I was like, I wonder what's there. And my soup was delicious. I feel like it was really healthy. I feel skinnier after it. Now I'm going to go check out this little textile village. Oh. Oh, for cutting the under. And this is the weaving. She's giving me a. Oh, your little feet go in there. Do you see that? Like that. This temple is 800 years old, and that's my lunch view. Okay, so I was riding past on my scooter. I know, I'm back on a scooter. And I saw heaps of people sitting around these cute tables eating. And I was like, well, I'm hungry, as usual. And then look, they're making tempura.
Yeah, tempura.
Tempura. Like there, see?
Onion, lady finger.
Okay. And then there's egg. Oh, okay, I sit down. Oh, delicious. Okay, so I saw heaps of people, so I obviously pulled over. And now I'm going to have my second dinner, which is going to be my noodle soup. So that's where I'm getting it. And then over here, if you want extra protein, there's, what are they? Crickets, I think. What are they? I'm sure someone will correct me. Oh. Anyway, but then look at this view where I'm going to have my noodle soup. Look at that. With the temple. So it's a temple if you can go inside it. It's a pagoda if you just walk around it. So this one I think is a temple because you can go inside. Sick. Okay, here's my second dinner. I feel like I've made a mistake because they said spicy. I go, yeah. So let's see how spicy this is. The last time I had a spicy dish, I actually was like, holy shit. I thought I was gonna cry. Also, it's a gazillion degrees, but I'm still obsessed with eating noodle soup. Oh, it's got a kick to it. A big kick. Delicious though. So I'm actually feeling a little bit disheartened because I love traveling here. It's amazing, but people are really struggling. And because you can only take out so much cash, so I basically had to budget for the 2-week trip I'm going to be here. You can't like get extra cash out. You can't be like, oh shit, you know, I'll pay for this on card, because there is none. This guy before was just like, hey, do you want to buy a painting, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, I can't. Like, one, I don't need a painting. And then two, I also just don't have the cash. But then he goes, there's no tourists. I go, I know. Like, it's so, and he wasn't like saying it to like beg or anything. He was just like so disheartened about it. He was like, there's just no tourists, and I've heard it so much today. There really are not any. None. And the restaurant I was at today also, he gets 1 tourist a day. Back in the boom, the whole restaurant was filled and you had to make a booking. And this is their livelihood. It's fucked. It's so hard to watch. It's also hard not being able to help. Like, I'm helping through being here and hopefully encouraging other people to come and stuff. Obviously, make sure that you understand the risks. But there's only so much I can do. You can't help everyone. It's fucking hard. Okay, so I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning to try and do the balloons. The balloons over Bagan are a massive thing to do, and I managed to get it for only $90 US. During the peak years, the balloon rides were around $400 USD. So super, super cheap, a quarter of the price. We got there, everything was set up, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously, if you've ever tried to do balloon rides, you know that so many times it just gets cancelled because of the wind direction. Obviously, they can't control the wind. So we got dropped back off to the hotel. I obviously missed sunrise, which it's fine. When life gives you lemons. So then I quickly grabbed the e-bike and then scooted to see some temples. And look at this. Still beautiful. Didn't see the sunrise exactly over the temples, but it's still morning light, so it's still stunning nonetheless. Hi, puppy. Favorite part of being here has just been like cruising around, checking out heaps of temples. The roads are so quiet, so you literally have them all to yourself. And look how many temples I'm surrounded by right now. Temples and pagodas. It's absolutely insane. I don't understand what this is. A wedding? Religious parade? I'm not sure. Oh my god, there's a kid on a horse. Oh! Okay, now we've got the chariots. I'm so confused. So there are very few coffee shops here, but I obviously was craving an iced mocha, so I've been to this place twice. It's so cute, and look at everyone singing. I can't, it's so fucking cute. A room tour, my hotel is $35 a night. 35 USD a night, sorry, so that's what, like 55 AUD. Stunning. So, it's my last night in Bagan. Bagan? Bagan. I keep butchering all the pronunciations here, so I always have to check. Anyway, whenever I travel to a place, I always end up getting obsessed with something food related. Right now, my current obsession in Myanmar are the lime juices. They're so fucking good. So I've pulled over, it's almost sunset time, pulled over to have a quick lime juice at this local place, and then I will go and head off to try and catch sunset. Okay, so I'm at Sunset Hill waiting for the sun to go down. The sun goes down at like 6:15 p.m. I just wish I had a zoom lens. I've only got a fixed 35mm, which is really annoying for times like this. I know, a big tragedy. Good morning. I get to see one last sunrise before I leave Bagan. And then there's, can you see the hot air balloon behind me? I didn't have time to get it because I have an 8:30 a.m. bus, so I wouldn't make it in time. So I'm just watching it from the tower that they built, and there's sunrise. It's so stunning, look. I think if you can do the hot air balloon, I would try and do it, and I would try and do it on your first day. So during the peak tourism years, there were usually like 12 to 15 balloons up. Now there's only usually one every like few days. Good morning, I'm about to start my trek from Kalaw to Inle. It's a 2-day, 1-night trek. We're on our way to the first village. Woohoo! Do I need a husband? Everyone makes fun of me for no husband. Okay, I'm about to take my 9-hour minivan bus to Shan State. Now, I only received the green light yesterday that this was a safe enough area to go. It changes very quickly, so most people haven't been able to visit Shan State recently, but where I'm going is considered safe-ish. I'm going with a guide, obviously. You can't go to this area without a guide anyway, because the guide has all the contacts to let you stay in the local villages. And the reason why I'm taking a minivan is because there are no internal flights anymore, because there are no tourists. So yeah. In terms of safety, this area I'm doing an overnight hike. It's a 3-day, 2-night hike. Everyone is pretty in the know about what's happening in terms of safety, so everyone's always updated as to where to go, where you can't go, what roads are closed, where there's fighting. So you put a lot of trust in the people, and even like last night, my hotel were really unsure about me going. They were like, oh, we don't think it's safe. And then they called their contacts and they're like, yeah, it's fine now. So things do change quickly. I only booked this literally yesterday because you just don't know. I had hoped I could do this region, but the past few months you couldn't visit Shan State. So for areas that are dangerous, you actually can't get through the military checkpoints anyway. So they would just turn you back around. But it's more so knowing what roads are safe and whatnot. Yangon, Bagan is always considered very safe and they're the main tourist locations. I really want to go do this trek, and I want to see the lake. The lake looks insane and people have said it's like their favorite thing to do. Okay, so we have been on the bus for 2.5 hours. I've given up my seat for my little baby, my little friend. We fell asleep and she was on my lap. And now I'm just sitting on this stool in the middle. The bus is obviously over capacity. There's so many people on this bus, but there's no aircon. We drove around. I think we went to 6 petrol stations. None had petrol. We finally found petrol. But yeah. Okay, this is our pit stop. This is my lunch. I just pointed it and ordered, but they gave me all this extra stuff, so. Okay, so I've made it to my hotel or my B&B. I am in Kalaw. It took about 8 hours on the bus. God, there was no aircon, obviously, and it was so hot. The bus seats 16 people. We had 22 people in there, plus so many supplies. It was so crammed. So there were supplies and everything on the floor, so you couldn't actually put your feet down. So yeah, I have made it to Kalaw, and then I am starting my trek tomorrow morning. I'm really excited. It's super beautiful here. I'll show you. Look outside my window. It's so peaceful. Whoops. Ooh. I'm in an A-frame cottage. They're also so sweet. They were when I checked in, they said, thank you so much for staying here, blah, blah, blah. There's been obviously it's pretty tough to see the impacts of no tourism here, particularly because they had such boom years of 2010 to 2019 where things really peaked and life was good again. Everyone was happy, they were democratic, peace, and then they've had to go back to what it was. So yeah, everyone's really grateful when they see a tourist, which is why I think I have found it really safe traveling and everyone really looks out for me. So yeah. They have these cute little nooks and the whole place is wood. It's so thoughtful. Look how cute it is. I'm obsessed. It was around 25 USD. So what, 40 Australian dollars? 42 roughly? Includes breakfast too. Look at this, so cute. Okay, so I'm trying to count all my cash I've got left. It is really difficult making sure you budget properly for Myanmar because, as you know, you can't get cash out, you can't pay for anything on bloody card. And I have decided to do this 2-day trekking, which means that I have to try and find 380,000 kyat. So I'm then having to use, I luckily have a few thousand baht with me. 1,000 baht is equivalent to 160,000 kyat. No, probably 180,000 kyat. So then I'm trying to count everything to make sure it all equates properly. It's really difficult because I should have just got more cash out, but how are you to know, really? This is me and my money piles here. Trying to make sure I've got everything. Plus, I also don't want to have to try and exchange it back, so I'm trying to use all of this before I use my spare Thai currency. Good morning. I'm about to start my trek from Kuala to Inle Lake. It's a 2-day, 1-night trek. I was meant to be doing the 3-day, 2-night, but I don't have the time, and to be honest, I don't have the cash. So because of the cash situation, and I wasn't planning on doing this trek. I actually got recommended it from someone that follows me on Instagram, and she was like, this is the best thing I did. We're taking a motorbike to the first village where we start our hike, and then we will go, I think it's in total we're doing 7 hours of hiking today. We've got 3 on a bike. We're on our way to the first village. Woohoo! Okay. So it's egg, spring onion, and I think something else. It's called, what's it called again? They're having a yap. I won't interrupt them. Yummy.
If you want sour, you put a little bit this. Yeah. So
Thank you.
and a little bit salt. No.
I don't have boyfriend. Okay, and this is the stuff they put on their face.
Yeah,
It's
protection for sun cream.
yes, sunscreen and wrinkles.
Wrinkle, yes.
And it comes from the wood.
Yes, from them. This wood grow on the flat area nearly Bagan, nearly Mandalay.
Oh,
Not
okay.
from here.
Okay, they bring the wood over.
Yeah, so only use it for outside, not inside. Only this one.
Only the bark.
Yeah, only the bark. They have two kinds. One is female, one is male. Female is smelling, male is not smell.
Oh, okay. 28 Buddhas here. Yes. Crazy. We're deep in the cave too right now. We were just saying no tourists here, only me.
Only you.
We brought snacks because obviously everyone's working very hard. Okay, so we're hitchhiking. There's a festival up here, so that's why there's more motorbikes on the road. Everyone's going to see the festival. I think they're putting an umbrella on a Buddha. That's what I heard. So we're just hitchhiking with some locals who flag them down. Okay, so they invited us to eat, and this is the local village celebrating their festival. Everyone's arrived. Look how cool this is, guys. And look at all the food. I'm so full still. We're seeing how spicy this is because everything here is so spicy. Yum. The soup's really good here. Look at my big bowl of chili. I'm not going to eat that.
And
That's spicy too, but this is delicious, the cabbage. And we were just saying how full we were, and then they topped up our pork. Cool, look at all that garlic. Cigar leaf.
yeah, shadow leaf or cigar leaf.
Pan.
And then you put dry on the pan and
Yeah.
let the heat
Yeah.
only 1 second dry
Yeah.
and change color.
Oh.
And then they put a little bit water
Yeah.
and then cut surrounding
Yeah.
and tobacco and filter and company name and then smoke it.
Oh. Their grandmother is making us tea, so I thought I'd step in and replace her and try and get these peanuts out. I'm not very good at it. The little girls tried to show me, but then they laughed at me. Hold on. Okay, you go like this. Okay, trust me. Then you go and crack it. Peanut! You see that? Put my peanut in there. Then I get the other peanut out. God, I'm really slow at this. They're so quick. Okay. And then I put the shell there in the shell pile. Okay. Crack. I think I should be doing it more on the side rather than just the top. Yeah, like that. I think we're getting better. There's two. Oh, that was a good one. I'm getting better. One peanut. Am I meant to be keeping the shell? Is the shell meant to stay nice like that?
Just like this, yeah. No problem, whatever.
Do they use this for anything?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So
Only they need is a seat.
Oh, mine's broken.
No problem.
Do I put it in there?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
They don't use this ash.
Wow, this has 3 peanuts. There's 3 in there, guys. Yeah, they're coming. There was 3 peanuts. 3! Look! Isn't that cool? I got 3. Woohoo! My lucky peanut. Okay, so the peanuts are for peanut oil, and it should be enough to last the whole year. And if they have any extra, they'll sell it. So there's the big bucket of peanuts now. Oh, so sweet. Made us tea. Can you see? You can see through there, and then you can see his face. The local monks in the village we're in invited us into their monastery for tea, which is really cute. So let's go. Again, oh, Coca-Cola! Coca-Cola! I love Coca-Cola.
You want Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
They give you. I told you.
I need a husband. Everyone makes fun of me for no husband.
You should pray for. I want husband tonight. Clear the out tonight. Sit down,
So those monks then were asking how come there's no tourists. They understood obviously that during COVID no flights, but they were interested to know why there's no tourists now. I guess from their perspective where they are is super safe, and so they didn't understand how come all the tourists stopped coming. They obviously noticed, you know, the tourists trekking through the villages and stuff, and then suddenly it stopped. So I explained that our government tells us we can't visit, and we also can't get travel insurance. And there are still obviously risks. When a country is in a civil war, things can change very quickly and fighting can break out anywhere really. So it's very localized though, so unless you have someone that can provide super accurate updates on the ground before you travel somewhere, it's difficult. Every village we walk through, we always get asked if we want food, and then every few houses we get asked if we want tea. We've had to start saying no. I actually can't eat anymore. I'm so full from everyone giving us food. So sweet. Everyone's been so kind. Okay, we have stopped for lunch with a local family. Hello! Oh, peanuts! Peanuts! I'm familiar with the peanut method. Hello! Hi! Okay, lunch. Everything's fresh from the garden. Oh, soup. I love the soup here. These are fresh mulberries there. And fresh avos. I said, let's stop for a water break just in the shade, and the shade was next to this house. So, of course, they invited us inside, and I am exhausted. We've been hiking for what, 7 hours now? Maybe 7.5. So I'm just laying down, and they gave me a pillow and invited us upstairs to their home. This random family, so fucking cute.
She's dancing.
So the house we just stopped at, so funny. I was sitting down and I have chunky thighs, always have. And the lady looks at my thighs and she goes, whoa, like big. I'm like, yeah, big thighs. And then they are always, each family we've visited, they're always super interested in my jewelry. and they ask where it's from and stuff, so I talk through it and say which countries I got them in and whatnot, and then tell them about, obviously, the Burmese ruby is the best ruby in the world. So yeah. Grabbed a hitchhike because honestly these thunder thighs are exhausted. Look! The river! Wow! Cool! Oh my god, it's with all the monks. Baby monks. Sick! So I'm at the river to have a little bit of a swim, well, to kind of shower myself. It seems like everyone showers here. The monks are here too, showering.
They happy. He asked you, did you have people who work farmer job like this?
Yeah.
A lot?
Yeah.
Nhái thế đấy.
There's the guy I hitchhiked with. He gave me a lift up the mountain because this big fatty boomba, exhausted. And you usually like don't have to tip, and often they'll like be like no, but given the price of petrol here, it's a massive issue, and having me on the back definitely would have made him use a lot more petrol. Having my fat ass sitting on the back, really had to use that accelerator. So I gave him just 10,000 baht, which he was very happy with. 10,000 baht is $4 maybe. Okay, I've arrived at where I'm staying. This is my beautiful host. So my hitchhike dropped me off at the wrong spot, and obviously no one spoke English, so I just was like, and then luckily Toto, my guide, was I think asking everyone like, white girl, have you seen white girl? I'm obviously the only white girl in this village. So yeah, these are my gifts for the people I'm staying with. We've obviously paid them, but also my gifts. And then I've just done my skincare. I've used these clean sheets, they're pretty good, from 4 a.m.
Toilet is behind the house, this way, left side, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It gets cold at night here.
Yeah, that's why I told you should bring the warm sweater.
Yeah. These are for you as a thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you like. And this. Okay, so that's my bed, and then there's the shrine. I'm glad I read this up, that your feet should never, be pointing to the shrine. So when I sleep, I think that makes sense because I put my pillow there, so my feet aren't facing the shrine. There we go, room tour. I always travel with baby wipes when I'm like backpacking, because you just never know when you won't be able to shower and stuff. So we are having a baby wipe shower tonight. To be fair, I rinsed off a lot in the river before, so I just really need to clean my feet again, because I was hiking for I showered and then I hiked for another 3 hours, so I didn't really shower, did I? I'm dirty again and I stink. I absolutely stink. Nice. And I'm going to put clean socks on. And yeah. I gave my gifts to my family. I'm glad I got gifts. I actually initially asked and they were like, no, don't worry. But I just find when you're going through semi-remote places, or this is very remote, but any sort of remote areas, it's always good. Like my guide had gifts to give, little lollies to give to people who were walking past, just because they've been so hospitable to us. Literally everyone has offered us tea and stuff. So it's just a nice thing to do when we're going through their communities, When we stopped at that house for a water break and they gave me a pillow and stuff to lay down, they needed Panadol or some sort of Panadol. And so I gave them 2 tablets of mine. And I kind of wish I knew in advance I was doing this trek, or at least before I had left Australia, so I could have packed some more stuff, just because these areas are so remote, and also quite poor, so whatever you can bring is always super appreciated. Okay, now I am clean and I'm gonna finish my skincare and I am ready for dinner and bed. I'm gonna sleep like a bloody baby tonight. I'm exhausted. God, I'm so unfit. The girl was right when she said thunder thighs to me. I was like, legit. It's crazy. Okay, this is dinner.
Dinner time.
Delicious.
Delicious, very delicious.
Fire. Who needs fire door when you've got the local village? Today I am going to bed at like 8 p.m. I'm so tired from today, but first day done. It was amazing. And we did 22 kilometers because I was actually saying to Toto, my guide, I was like, God, I must be like a big fat baby now because I'm exhausted. Like, I'm so fucking tired. She was like, yeah, we did 22 Ks. I go, what? I had no idea. I was like, God, it must be like 10 kilometers and I'm being such a baby. Anyway, it was amazing. And then we do it all again tomorrow, but tomorrow we go to the lake. So we get to do our boat ride around the lake. I'm so excited for it. Okay. Good morning. Oh, second and final day trekking. Okay, so this is where I slept last night. This is my bed and my pillow. I had 2 blankets. In the winter, you also need to bring a sleeping bag, but it was fun with the 2 blankets. I definitely needed both though last night. Cute. Okay, toilet tour for you. There you go. And then this is the shower. Okay, breakfast. Look at all this fresh fruit. Thank you. Okay, day 2 trekking. Let's go. We are walking to Inle Lake. I'm very excited for the lake because I've heard cool things about it. So let's go. Okay, so yesterday, first day, we did 22 kilometers. Today is 12 kilometers, but my legs are so sore, so I just go, can we hitchhike part of it? 10 Ks isn't far, honestly. It's walking, it's not far at all, but I'm just being a big baby, big chunker. Oh, we found a ride. We're hitchhiking. We're in the back with all the drinks and there's strawberries and limes. It is so hot today. It was like 8:30 a.m. and already I was dripping in sweat. It's a lot hotter than yesterday. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Thank you. We're back on the road again, trekking. Woohoo! Hello. Look, everyone's got slingshots. Can I see? Oh! We're almost there. My feet are killing. And then we take the boat around the lake. Hi! Hello! Oh, our boat driver. How's this? Oh my. Okay, so we're making a, what are we making?
This is longi.
A longi, which are the long skirts that the women and men also wear. Men wear them too.
Yes.
But different patterns?
Different pattern.
Different patterns, yeah.
Different design.
And sometimes they'll make this out of a lotus stick. They'll get the string, but not in summer. They do that in rainy season because there's a lot more sticks. To make one scarf out of the lotus sticks, it takes 4,000 sticks. Oh, okay, so that's from the lotus stick.
And then the design is silk.
Okay, so this longi is how much?
$300.
300 USD, but it takes her 4 days to make, and it's made out of the lotus
And silk.
and silk.
This is silk. You can touch, very soft.
Okay, he's making earrings here with real silver.
Yes, pure silk.
They get it from the mountain nearby.
This kind of the color she doing.
Oh.
You can see picture.
Oh, there, yeah.
Yeah, the lady she doing handmade here.
Oh, that's her. That's her.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and the ladies are from Kayan State. So I didn't want to say this when I was with the women, but the Kayan village, so the long neck tribe, they had to flee because of all the bombings, the war. Some went to Thailand, some stayed in Myanmar. They live on the border of Thailand, Myanmar, and they have had to move here and have had to separate. The reason why they wear the rings, some people say it's obviously deeply rooted in their culture, but some say it was because of protection for animals. I'm of the understanding though that they started doing that to stop being, so men wouldn't view them as beautiful and wouldn't take advantage of them. So that's why women started wearing the rings. The rings weigh 9 kilos. A lot of the younger generations don't wear them as much because if they go to school in Myanmar, the government says you can't come to school if you wear them. So they've had to take everything off. So yeah. Okay, so these are cigars and they hand make them. They make them from the leaves. We actually saw the leaves trekking. They fry them on the pan quickly, and then I'll show you. This lady here is sorting through the good leaves and the bad leaves. I think that's good leaf. Where's bad leaves?
Small hole, and then the red color. My baby is this is bad leaf.
Bad leaf.
To already ban it is no good. They need a little bit yellow or green.
Wow. God, look how fast she does this.
One day, depend on the lady work, one day 1,000 cigar a day.
Holy shit. So this whole lake, well this whole area had a massive earthquake a year ago and everything was destroyed. A lot of people died and they've had to rebuild a lot of new houses. So you can see through there, like there's concrete on the first floor. Okay, now we're arriving to the monastery. So they're fixing here that was damaged from the earthquake, so they're rebuilding everything.
All by hand.
Crazy. So he's using his foot to paddle the boat.
Yes.
That's crazy. Look at that. Holy shit. That's insane. Okay, so I'm pretty used to like street dogs when traveling and they don't usually freak me out, but it's not the street dogs here, it's like people's dogs. Honestly, I actually saw my life flash before my eyes just then. This local man had to run and stop the dogs. There were like 5 of them, massive. They were so fucking aggressive. They were losing it and then started chasing me. I actually was like, oh my God, my hand's gonna get chopped off. Luckily, this local man came running, literally sprinted over to me to like get rid of the dogs, and then he walked me away from the dogs because they saw me as prey. Anyway, I also had another dog incident 2 days ago. Fucking losing it at me and started biting me. Not aggressively, they were biting my jumper, so they couldn't really get through all the fucking layers, but still. Ugh. So I'm getting really, really low on cash because I just spent $110,000 to take the bus to Mandalay, the overnight bus. I had already bought a bus ticket for tomorrow. That was $50,000, but I really didn't want to have to do another 9-hour daytime bus. I just feel like it wastes time, and I'm just like, I just don't like them. So I prefer to do an overnight bus. We managed to get back to Inle in time for me to make the overnight bus. So I'm doing that, but it means I've got like no cash left, literally barely anything. I think I've got $8 left after this meal, and that has to be enough for me to get a taxi from the bus station tomorrow. And I really wanted to give the girls at my hotel that I was meant to stay at a tip because they let me like use the outdoor shower and stuff, and they got me a towel. And obviously this is the hard part of traveling here when you can't use credit card. So everything is cash, and when you don't have the cash, I also have baht, but no one will exchange it here. Inle isn't as big as obviously like Kalaw, not like Kalaw, Bagan and Mandalay. So, okay, my bus has arrived, finally. I was worried it wasn't gonna come. Thank you, sir. Woohoo! Thanks. I'm sitting with them. Bus ticket.
Okay.
Woohoo! We're going to Mandalay. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, it's the same bus as last time. Oh, sorry. Oh God, my fat ass can't fit through this. Shit. Thank you. Okay. I'm so glad I managed to get the overnight bus. Woohoo. Okay, so we just went through the military checkpoint. It took forever. We all had to get out, and then they were checking like all the luggage of like every bus going through. They were opening up fruit boxes. We had to go through like the security stuff, and then keep walking along like this massive road, and all the trucks were then going a separate way, and then we had to wait I think an hour in the end for our bus to get through. It's fucking insane. But everyone was looking out for each other and making sure we were all like staying together. It was cute. Okay, I am in Mandalay. Now I got in at 2 a.m. The bus can take anywhere between 8 hours to 16 hours. I was on the overnight bus. The military checkpoint took an hour. The military checkpoint was a bit fucked because like you had to get out, everyone was walking, there were trucks. It was just, I don't know, maybe I could freak out easily. I found it a little bit intense. Then we got back on the bus, and then I got woken up by someone at 2 a.m. because we had arrived in Mandalay like 4 hours early. So I obviously hadn't booked a hotel. I was like, fuck. So then I just luckily had screenshotted a couple of hotels to choose from. So I then had to negotiate with a tuk-tuk driver. He was like, it's 30,000. I had 26,000 cash with me. That's all I had left. Like, this is the problem I'm finding with cash only, is that I didn't forecast for certain expenses. I thought I got a shitload out, but clearly not. And then, well, to be honest, I did the trek, and I wasn't expecting to do the trek, so that's why. So then he was like, I was like, I've got $5 Australian. You can have that. That's equivalent to like 15,000. Anyway, so we went back and forth. Eventually took me, got to the hotel, I asked the hotel, can I please get a room, pay for a room? And the tuk-tuk driver was then like, well, no, you haven't paid me enough. I go, we've agreed that you take the 5 AUD plus the 20,000 I've got instead of the 26,000. Anyway, the whole thing went back and forth for ages. Got into my room, then woke up at 7. So got into my room at 3 a.m. Then got up at 7 a.m. to try and see this really famous pagoda. The famous pagoda is 90 minutes outside of Mandalay. I was told that you can still visit if you leave the area before 1 p.m. That's when the fighting starts, which is just a fucked sentence in itself. So I was like, okay, I'll try and go then. It felt a little bit off, but I wouldn't have gone unless the hotel said, yeah, it's fine. When I went down to order the taxi from the hotel and asked them, is it safe? They said, no, you can't go. So yeah, that's the situation right now outside of Mandalay. It's about 90 minutes outside. If you visited Myanmar, it's likely you did go to this pagoda. It's very, very beautiful. The whole area around it has been really devastated. There's active fighting going on. People have had to flee their homes. I probably shouldn't be saying this right now. Anyway, so now I'm in a tuk-tuk. I ordered a Grab because Grab works here. I've got no money. I'm in a tuk-tuk. I've got some baht left. I'm going to try and exchange it to get me through the rest of today. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to have a very chill day before my flight tonight. I'm feeling pretty emotionally fucked up and wrecked. So yeah. Okay, so I just exchanged cash. Should be enough for today. And now we're going to the monastery. The line for the petrol here is insane. Like, I've never seen lines like it before. My tuk-tuk driver woke up at 3 a.m. to try and get petrol, and he waited in line for an hour and could only get 4 litres of petrol. It's crazy. And the security for the currency exchange then was pretty, you know, like the whole thing was boarded up, locked up, and then someone came out and said, like, what do you want? I said, currency exchange, and then they unlocked everything. Very different vibe here. I hate saying vibe because obviously the whole situation is fucked. There's a lot going on. It's not about me. It's obviously not about me. But I'm just explaining what it's like here right now in Mandalay. This is a petrol line. I only just started filming halfway. God, it keeps going. Oh! Shit! Huh? Who cares? Okay, so everyone has their stones laid out. See the jade on the tables? And this is where you buy and sell jade. Okay, my oh no car sway. I think that's how you say it. Obviously not, but that's my attempt.
Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Feeling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. Cause love comes slow and it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low.
Woohoo! Thank you. This is the hotel. Fancy. Okay, and then this is my hotel tour for my last day. I'm in Mandalay. Again, this hotel is really nice. It was 120 Australian dollars for the night. Okay, so I am at Mandalay Airport. There's obviously only one flight right now, and we're actually, where you board the flight is also where you wait for your baggage. Look, it's 2 in 1. I'm going to Bangkok. And then my beautiful tuk-tuk driver, God, he was so cute. He was blasting like love songs and singing, and tuk-tuks aren't allowed all the way up to the airport, so he had to drop me off, hand me over to like some random car he flagged down, and I switched over. It was so sweet. I'm sad to be leaving, but I'm sad because I love the people. I'm ready emotionally. I just need to reset and collect myself. And, you know, I'll talk about it when I get on the other side.